Hello, I'm back again. I've just come back on again because I wanted to see if my mic's working. It is. Basically, I'm going to do another little show here, a really short one because I just did one a minute ago and the microphone, it did. I listened back and it's horrible. It's fucking horrible. So I've had a little fix. I've had a little fix of it and I'm hoping it sounds a little bit better. So I'm going to try and do another little one here. I'll get that other one deleted off the YouTube when I can. Um, Yeah, man. I've come back on. If anyone wants to come on and have a chat with me about what happened today, because I found it a little bit sad that the last game of the season podcast sounded terrible, and I've decided to come back on and just do another little live. I'll try and stay on a little bit. So if anyone wants to come on and have a chat, come and talk, come and talk. Um, yeah, Sunday Club, as I say, it's Sunday and it's the club and it's at the Leeds house. My name's James, blah blah blah. Please like, subscribe, share, and hype. Get it in, do it. You know, I didn't want to sign off on a bad show with bad sound. So I've come back on to try and redo it. Or well, not redo it, but just talk through it again. Because it's yeah. So if anyone's there that wants to chat, come and chat. The game today was Leeds United nil, West Ham 3 in the last game of the Premier League season. We've finished the season on 47 points, not the 50 that I wanted. Didn't get the clean sheets that I wanted. Very, very disappointed in that. But, it's been a great season. It's been a great season for all Leeds United fans. And that's all I've got to say on that matter. I'm going to get the league up again. Did it? I've done this already. I've done it all already, but it sounded bad, so I had to come back on. This is the league, how it finished. Arsenal, Man City, Man United, Aston Villa, Liverpool, Bournemouth, Sunderland. Sunderland getting into European place, which is a surprise for us all, but fair play to them. Brighton, Brentford, Chelsea, Fulham, Newcastle, Everton, and Leeds. Leeds United in 14th place. 14th place is where we finished. 15th for Crystal Palace, Forest, Spurs, and then the three that go down: West Ham, Burnley, and Wolves. They are relegated from the Premier League. And as I said in the first podcast that I did earlier, Coventry, Ipswich, and Hull have come up. Hello, Fergal. Yes, mate. Yeah, I had to come back on because I listened back to it and it's bad. It's bad. I wanted to punch my own face. Sounding so bad. I watched the Danny Fire post-match interview and he said that the club have been having talks about the future since we were confirmed safe. Cheers, mate. Yeah, I mean, you have to, don't you? You think that would be the case? You think that they'd want to push on a little bit? Like Farks come out in his press conference the other week and basically said that as much. He's achieved what he came here to do: get us into the Premier League and keep us in the Premier League. And we're here. We're safe. And I like that from a manager. You'd want that from your manager that's come back, that's wants to push on. And he's come out and said it. He said, "This is what I want. I don't want to stand still. I want to take this team forward. I want to go on to the next level." And you'd hope that your owners, which I think they do, because technically, in their eyes, we may be possibly a year behind because maybe they expected us to get promoted the first season under Farker. And we all know how that ended. So yeah, you think that they want to push on just as much as Fark does, and I think I said it. I said it, it's gonna be. I'm gonna keep repeating a lot of the stuff I've already said. Yeah, you think that they'll give him the players to push on now. I don't see why they won't do that. Judging on the boys and the players that we brought in for this season, which has eventually kept us up quite comfortably. You think, yeah, why not push on? As I say, we'll probably see a lot of players moved on. Fergal, what do you see happening? How do you view the coming off season? Do you think there's going to be a big switch up of personnel? Do you think there's going to be a lot more emphasis on getting players in so Fart can sort of play the football that he wants to play the formation that he wants to play? Because I think we all know his formation is, you know, the 4-2-3-1. That's his favoured sort of formation. It served us quite well in, I know, the championship with the sort of the better players in the league. If that's where he's aiming, what he's aiming for, and you give him the players that he can do that in this league, I mean, I don't see where like the problems are. It'll then like if all you can do as owners is give him what he needs to succeed, and then if he doesn't then succeed, that's when you then start saying, right, you know, you look for someone else. Yeah, all the usual mentioned players will be gone. I read the list out on the other pod. I'm gonna fucking read it out again. My mate sent me a list of players, basically of who he thinks won't be in a Leeds top next season or Leeds kit next season. So he's got Harrison, Nonto, Mecha, Bornal, Pirot, Perry, Byram, Carnes, Melier, Joseph, Ramazani, Geldhart, and Wobau, which I agreed with to some extent. I think Carnes will probably stay for the homegrown, you know, the homegrown sort of players that you need in your team. Um, I wonder if that they was looking at another thing, weren't they? Where they were saying you needed to have a certain like a player in your squad or in your team. I think it's your team under the age, like a homegrown player playing for you. But I don't know if that's gonna be a thing that happens. Um, I also mentioned that I think there might be a couple of player sales that maybe we don't not necessarily expect, but like a Strauch, because obviously the profit that you'll get from Strauch because you come in quite cheap. Tanaka, obviously Nonto's like the main one. Tanaka as well, he come in quite cheap, and you could probably get a fair bit from it for him because we're gonna, as much as we've got like a lot of money coming in from broadcasting and our revenue and stuff, and there's the new sort of system next season. Um, you're gonna think that they're gonna need to move some players on as well. A new 10, a midfielder, left back. The goalies are okay, in my opinion. Yeah, I mean, yeah, I mean, I kind of like Strauch, but I think for the pure sort of the amount that you'll get in terms of what we paid for him, it's like it's business sense. You know, when it comes to this level of football, you can't really get attached to people, and that's what tends to happen. But the goalie situation, I said this last week about would we still look to get a new keeper, and because obviously the failed Perry signing, but is he failed or is he just does he need a little bit of time? Because I talk about time as well for some players and managers needing that extra bit of time to get used to leagues and ways of playing. Perry might be that guy because for all intents and purposes, he was a good keeper before. When he come in, he was good in the league before. Um, in the French league, he looked like a good quality keeper. We all know what he's got in his arsenal in terms of his long throws. His kicking seemed to improve as the season went on. Just he seemed slower along the floor, Perry, and obviously he played his part in the FA Cups, getting us to the semi-final with his penalty saves. But then Darlow is a bit of a revelation for me because I wrote him off. I thought he was shit. If I'm being honest, I didn't think he was all that good. But he's proved me wrong. Since he's come in, I went class last season because we weren't troubled a lot last season. But this season, when he's come in, we're playing in the Premier League. Some of the saves he's made. He made a good one today as well. I mentioned it earlier on the other pod. I keep saying that fucking thing. He made a great save today from Callum Wilson, and he's made great saves in pretty much mostly every game he's played at the end of the season. But not just saves, but really top draw saves. The one against Brighton last week when he sort of going one way and it went the other way. The one against Wolves, uh, Man United, like he's made some really, really top draw saves, and I wouldn't be totally against it if we started with him next year. But I did also say we might still get another keeper in, but I tend to agree with you, mate, in terms of our keepers. I don't think we're that terrible, but obviously Meslier will go because he's young still. He's young, and I still think there's a good keeper in Meslier. I just think, like I've mentioned it so many times with him, I think he's just been absolutely battered for confidence. Them last two Premier League seasons with the amount of goals he conceded and the amount of shots he faced, I think I think he needed to take him out of it a little bit. I think he needed someone else. He needed to be the number two in them seasons, I think. Um, but yeah, I think Meslier definitely going to go. Well, he's looking like it. He's looking good. He's looking good. Like he's getting used to he's not too bad with the ball at his feet. I know he did something really dodgy today where he nearly sort of gave that Tati, whatever his name is, an easy goal. But yeah, he's getting more and more confident as he plays. Yeah, I think so. I think Meslier does. He needs to just go somewhere and sort of start again, build himself back up again, because he needs to get that sort of confidence back when he first come into the team in that FA Cup game against Arsenal because he looked good. And for me, still one-on-one keeper. When players are going one-on-one with him, he's fucking brilliant at that, and he's a good keeper. He's a good keeper. Just goes away somewhere, builds himself up. He's still very young for a goalie as well. He's got plenty of football in him on Meslier, and I think he'll come back a lot stronger. A lot of players tend to leave us and turn out pretty good. There was the other one, the Italian keeper, didn't really play for us at all, and he's gone off to be a really good keeper. I forget his name. Um, yeah, mate. I'm gonna get one of these banners back up and see if we have another chat about it. Um, yeah. So I'll go through the goals again today, actually, because I'm just really angry about that first podcast. I couldn't hear it very well. So first goal, obviously, it's a corner. Rodon switched off at the back. And he did the old turn behind him like, who was there? Your fault. You let him head out. Keeper probably could have saved it, but he had a few players ahead of him. Yeah, Roland's fault for the first goal. Metch's fault for the second goal because I've noticed something about Metcha, and it's probably why he hasn't played as much. Is because in the box, quite dangerous, and he can get you a goal, and he's got quite good feet, but anywhere outside of the box, he's like a bit of a car horse. Gave the ball away too weak. So would you take anyone from West Ham apart from Cree? Um, Obviously, there's Bowen. You take Bowen, wouldn't you? You wouldn't turn Bowen down. He's always looks lively. I don't know. I'm not that Fernandez. Obviously, he's probably gonna go to a big club this summer. That Fernandez. I think we were looking at him last season, or he was. His name was mentioned in our pursuits. Um, uh, yeah, bad defending. He's a bigger version of Aronson Mecha. See, again, like I always, I always stick up for Aronson. I do. I always, because he gets enough shit off everybody. I don't need to give him any. Um, I can't. I like Aronson. I like him. I don't know why. He's not the best player in the world. We probably do need to improve on Aronson, but I don't think he's been as bad as the hate that he gets. Even today, he's getting so much hate. But Mecha, yeah, you can see why he hasn't started as many games as obviously um, Dominic Calvert-Lewin. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I know what you mean. I know. Yeah, I understand what you mean now. Yeah, yeah. That the second goal is just weak. It's just weak. He goes possibly a little bit of a foul, but in my eyes, just weak. And then they go and score their second goal from it. It's a good ball from Fernandez and Bowen. And, he finishes it quite well. Um, I think so. I think so. I think he will be. I think he's a good player to have in your team because you know what you're going to get out of him. You know what you're going to get out of him, and he's not as bad as like creative as people give him credit for. Give him like knock him for it as well. Like he does create a lot for him. For him. Um, but yeah, I agree. I think. I mean, I wouldn't. Again, I wouldn't be against improving on him, and if we can get someone else in. But if you're just shifting sort of the bench, like some of the players that were starting for us this season, if you just shift them onto the bench, the people on the bench out, and you get more better players in, that's the churn that you need. You can't stand still in this league. You have to keep pushing forward. You have to keep going. Otherwise, you go backwards and you end up in another relegation battle. Um, but yeah, Aronson definitely a good squad player in my eyes. In my eye. In my fucking eyes, Fergal. The third goal of as I've mentioned here, like Mecha's weak for the second goal. Broden switched off for the first. I've done all these already, but I'm doing them again. And then the third goal is just a great strike. Just slaps it in, doesn't he? As I said, I don't think it was a 3-0 game though. As much as we were not, we weren't on our game as much as we have been in this season. In this season, I still think we were quite good in large parts of it. I think we look quite composed. I think we all know what we're doing. We have our shaky moments as we all do, as we all see, but I think for large parts of the game we were quite in control of it. And like I said, I don't think it was a 3-0 game. Up until they scored, I thought they were crap. I thought they were rubbish. And you could see why they were down there. They were panicking. They were giving the ball away. We were just not like as clinical as we needed to be in front of goal today. I think, like speaking of Mecha, when he does his little skill and he, turns the defender inside out in the box, that's where he's good, in the box. And then he doesn't shoot. You think, right, you've made yourself a little space, you might as well have a pop from it. And he tried to play it into Dominic Calvert-Lewin, who scuffs it, really. Fairly decent save. I, I tend to agree with you there, mate. I think if we take our chances, we pretty much. I think if we score, do you know what? If we just score one goal, I think West Ham just go, yeah, we're done, because they pretty much looked done. They you could see it in the way they were playing. They were giving the ball away. They were all shaky at the back. When they were getting into decent positions, we were sort of smothering the chances away. Sort of poor decision making. There's a couple of times when I think Somerville went in the box and he was expecting to be, the keeper to come at him. There was the other time when that Tati Castellanos or whatever his name is went through, and I think he was expecting a little bit of a challenge. Just but yeah, they looked done from the first whistle. I thought we're going to win this game. We're going to win this game. But we didn't. We ended up losing 3-0, which I didn't see coming, to be honest with you. I didn't see coming. Even when they scored, I thought we might still score a goal. And goddamn, I said it. I'm going to say it again because I have to. Had this sort of like plan of how I was going to announce that I'd got the fucking clean sheets prediction right. Predicted 9 clean sheets, and I think if we'd have got today, it would have been 9th. So I was sitting watching the game thinking, how am I going to do it? I'm going to name all the teams, that we got a clean sheet against and say, "Yeah, clean sheets record, prediction, I got it right," but it turned out that I didn't get it right because we got 8 and we lost 3-0. But I did want that clean sheet. I wanted the 50 points. I wanted the 50 points. We would have finished a couple of places higher as well. Sad day, sad day. Um, I'll mention him again because I didn't really, you know. How did you feel when Anote played for a goal, or anyone else that's watching in his little cameo? How did you feel he did? Did a little run, didn't he? A nice little run. I still think the Spurs won't be all at that next season. We'll probably finish. Yeah, I don't think they'll like win the league or anything, but that De Zerbi don't really like. He come with a bit of a reputation, and I don't really know where he got it from. He did quite well at Brighton, and Brighton tend to do well with their manager selections. They play a certain way, and they tend to sort of go for a certain type of manager that allows them to keep playing that way. And he was just another product in their managerial choices. But I don't think Spurs will have another season. That's 2 seasons on the trot now where they've finished 17th. Don't think they'll have another season like it. I think if they were gonna snuff it, go down, it was gonna be one of these 2 seasons. And last season, the 3 teams that went down were awful. This season, it's been a bit more of a it's been a bit more of a fight, and West Ham have gone down on 39 points, which is quite a high number, really. I think at his moments, if he had started the season with us, it would have been useful. Buonanotte, I was saying that as well. Yeah, I think like when you come into a team in the winter, in the way we were playing, we'd all sort of you could see we had a way of sort of doing things, and it's hard to pick up a momentum coming into it. You needed to come in and sort of be involved in it straight away and sort of do things. And it was, I felt a bit sorry for, not, didn't feel sorry for him actually, because it was his own fault. He could have, like you said, he could have come at the start of the season and been a real big player for us, because you've seen in that little moment, that little cameo of bursting through in the middle of the field and running at the defenders, and he's got the quality where he can sort of either pick a pass out or get a decent shot off. You'd like to think, or if we had that at the start of the season, if he built with us from the start of the season, that could have been a real good asset of ours, because we don't really have that type of player. I mean, Stat can sort of do it a little bit. Aronson tries to do it. He can sort of run at the defenders a little bit, but he comes to the end point where Aronson. But you can sort of see with a player like Buonanotte what he could have added to us if he'd have been at the start of the season. But when he's coming in cup games where the team was all shifted about a little bit. There were players that weren't playing constantly in the team, so even the players he was playing with when he was coming in weren't in full sort of the way we were playing, and he struggled, and they were the games that he needed to show it that he could just come in and play play with the players, and it sort of didn't happen for him. And then it was just a bit of a risk, weren't it? It was a risk for he's if Fark's got any criticism, it's not really criticism. It's very risk averse. I will try not to take too many risks. It's like he'll he likes to stick with a team. He likes to stick with a formation, not a team like that's constantly playing, so people are used to each other. Um, and it just sort of panned out that he weren't really going to get much of games, Buonanotte. And it turned out we didn't actually need him in the end, because we finished quite comfortably. Had we had him from the start of the season, and had he been sort of well indoctrinated into the way we played and how we've played this season, there could have been a few points where we felt our team performance deserved. He could have been maybe the little factor that pushed some of them points in our direction a little bit more. But it's all ifs, buts, and maybes. Would you, Fergal, even with the little bit you've seen, would you take him? Would you take him as a permanent signing? I think I might, you know. I don't think we will. I think he'll go back to Brighton, but I wouldn't mind it. I wouldn't mind taking him on permanently and saying, or even going right, come back at the start of next season on loan if that's what if that's what Brighton want to do. He's already in the team a little bit now. Yeah, he sort of knows the team now. He's been training with us for since January, and I think it would have been it's a bit of a waste to see like right off you pop. I wonder if we do. I wonder if we go. You know what? There is something that it can add to us, and we do keep him and we do buy him because I wouldn't mind it because I've seen him before and I think he's a really good player. But yeah, even like saying right, well, because of how it panned out, and as I say, facts not he's not too risk. You know, take too many risks. You might say come back on loan, get a pre-season with us, play more of a part in the team. Yeah, could be an option, man. It's and like I say, because he sort of knows us now a little bit. He knows how we're playing. He's playing with the players and he's training with all the players. It's probably less of a risk to bring him back than to go and find somebody else, then get him in and it don't work out as well. Do you know what I mean? But on saying that, I am quite confident in our recruitment as well. I'm quite confident in the Underwood and his choices of players because they've been all good. They've been good. You're never going to get 100%, but we've been pretty close. Pretty close. As I say, the two probably ones that you look at and go, could have been a little bit better. But I say not even two because Perry's the obvious sort of candidate. But then you say Bornau as well. But I think he's just been in the same sort of position as um Buonanotte, just not really getting a lot of game time, and not being able to play because of how well like sort of defensively we've been at times. But when he's come in, like he come in last week, played well. They won't play him, especially after this season. Sort of his game time this season. That he won't go back there and play. I don't think he will anyway. I think they'll either look to send him out on loan again or just sell him. That's what I think they'll do. Ask for Rutter. Would you take Rutter back? I'm a bit like this. I don't know. Obviously, he's a good player, and I do like Rutter. Um, yeah, I probably would actually. Probably would take him back, but I don't think they will send Rutter to us. A lot, it'd be nice to have him back. Um, would you take? Okay, if you had the choice to take a more back, would you take the more back? Dre won't come now. Now Tottenham have stayed in them. Yeah, he's a donkey. He's got that. He's got that about him, and but he's also got that little bit of. He's got that little bit of something. Um, but that was in the championship, wasn't it? Really, a good donkey. He's an ass. Um, would you take? Say, if you had the choice to take all three of them back, Somerville, Gray, Rutter, would you take them all back? Um, I don't. You know, what, I probably would say yeah, because I think Somerville, as much as he's been relegated, he's looked one of West Ham's better players in this second half of the season. Every time I've watched West Ham, he's looked very dangerous. He wouldn't take Creed back. Wouldn't take him back. Yeah, there's talk about his attitudes and stuff, but who do we know? I would definitely take Gray back, but Gray, I think Gray, they like Gray there, don't they? It's going to be a super player, Gray. I probably would take them all back, to be honest with you. Based on their ability, but we won't get any of them. Then none of them are coming back. As far as what else have I got written on here? What else have I got written on here? Yeah, Dala. Yeah, 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 yeah. Um, yeah. Well, we're talking about it quite a lot now. Um, who did you? What positions did you say you'd like to come in, mate? Let's have a look and go back up here. Da, 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 da. Oh, so a new 10, a midfielder, left back. The goalies are okay. Also, Gruev as well. He might be one that moves on. Gruev, but he's broken at the moment, so I don't think I'm going to buy him. New number 10. So that could be Buonanotte if they decide to keep him. Midfielder to replace. Who would you? Our midfield pretty stacked at the moment. If we get rid of Tanaka, possibly Gurev, then we've got Longstaff, Stack, Ampadu. Yeah, you probably get a couple more in just to take that level up. Another left back, another fullback cover, really, isn't it? Because Justin can do both. You probably need another fullback cover for either right or left because he's pretty good. As you say, the goalers are okay, and then obviously you get rid of a Strout, you're going to need another centre back. I do think there's going to be a bit of a churn. I know a lot of people going, oh, there's going to be, you probably get 3 or 4 players coming in. I think we might get more, not because we're setting out to just buy loads of new players or anything. I just think there's going to be a little bit of a churn just to take it to the next level next season. Um, yeah, that that defender that can score goals. I think he's left-sided as well, isn't he? Might have made that up. Mine off, but who cares? We turn the light on. There we go. It's a bit dark in this place. Um, yeah, centre back. I think I do. I think there'll be a bit of a sort of refreshing of the team. A lot of people are saying Rodon. A lot of people are talking about Rodon going. This Rodon hate's come out of nowhere. I don't know where it's come from, but it's absolutely come out of nowhere. Like I know he sort of switched off today, but you can forgive a little. You can forgive mistakes today because of the position that we're in. Um, but I don't know where the road on hate's come from. It's literally just since he got injured in the cup game, and then all of a sudden he was just like he doesn't. He's a bad player. I don't think he's a bad player at all. I think he's quite a good defender, quite pacey defender, a pacey defender that we not a lot of not a lot of teams have in the league. No, I don't think so either. But he's just gathered a little bit of. It's almost like they need someone else. They need another player to latch onto, and it's like it's a very small minority. I know this. I'm not stupid. It's a very small minority, but they tend to be the loudest people, and and they all sort of congregate on a player, and they'll have you'll have a comment. It's usually on X. Not fuck about you. It's on X. They'll Aronson obviously is the most hated guy on the Leeds fans X, and then you'll have all the people comment on him. He should never wear a Leeds top again, and it's like fucking hell. Yeah, but Rodon's now starting to get a bit of hate. I wonder who's going to be next. I wonder who it's going to be. Strauch's had it for a bit. Aronson always has it. Always has it. Rodon's getting it now. Wonder who's going to be next. Left back and JJ as a right back cover. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I know what you mean. Yeah, because technically he's a right-footed player, but he's played well, and he can also cover centre back as well, can't he? He's just been like a real understated signing for us. They all have. I keep going back to the signings, but just think how well James Justin's done for us. When you think of we got him and he was looked at as a backup, relegated Leicester player. He's a fucking good player, man, and he showed how good he is. He's been very very consistent. Scored a couple of goals as well. He scored a fucking bicycle kick for God's sake. Amazon should be a hero. He scored against Scum at home, didn't he? He did. He had a little spell, didn't he? He scored a couple against Newcastle as well. Um, you would think, you think he would be, but he just is. Leeds United over the years, it didn't matter what league we're in, how good we're playing, how bad we're playing. There's always scapegoats. There's always players. In some teams, there's been a lot more than you would expect. There's sometimes the whole team's shit, which has been true at times. But yeah, we always need scapegoats, and Aronson is he's just the biggest one we've got. And I don't get it. I don't know if it stems back from when he went out on loan to Union Berlin, if that's the reason why. But he's come back and he's. I just think it's unfair. It's not fair. It's not fair. If he left us, I wouldn't give two shits about him. So I'm seeing a bit then. But it's the fact that he's our player. Who needs rival fans in today's football? It's crazy, isn't it? Or when you're getting shit off of the fans, you sort of like, yeah, you expect that. When it's your own fans just constantly digging out your manager, certain players, unjustly as well. Like I can understand if we scraped this season and we'd had game after game after game where we'd luckily scraped points and we're just. I could understand going. Maybe we need to look at the manager and thinking, will we get away with it next year? But it's been brilliant. It's been like this season. It's most of the season we've been good in most games. There's been a couple of games where we've probably luckily got something out of it, like the Chelsea game, maybe the Bournemouth game. We've only two teams have done a double over us, Man City and Arsenal. They finished the top two. And even the Man City games, they were very close games, and we were probably unlucky to come away with them with two losses. The Arsenal games, we were comprehensively beaten. Surefire out again because Spuds won and West Ham won today. Hey, Dazzler. Terrible shit from Leeds. Really poor. No excuses. Need some real upgrades in all attacking areas if we're going to be a top 10 team. Oh, yeah. I mean, that goes without saying. If you want to progress, you need to upgrade. No one's denying that. But you can't take away the season that we've had. Unity. We need to improve the squad. If we don't, we will be in a relegation scrap next season. I think we do need to improve the squad. That's like we've said. You can't sit still. You can't stand still in this division. You need to keep constantly improving. And I think we will improve. I think the owners will know that. I think they're quite good. And I'll say the recruitment at the start of the season was good. It was good for what we needed. We probably over exceeded what we all expected. And as I was just saying, in terms of the games this season, there's been very few games where we've looked poor, where we've deserved to lose, or we've not. There's been a lot more games this season where we've deserved more than we've gotten, which is a good sign. And I think the players that we've got in this season, they've got a season in the bag. They know the league now. They'll probably progress a bit later and progress next season. And yeah, you're right. I think we do need to improve. We do need to get a few more players in. We definitely need another forward. I mean, as well as DLC has been brilliant. Kept himself fit. You bring something to us that we've needed. But we definitely need to improve that area up there. We need someone else as well, which I think we'll get. As you were saying, in terms of the left back and right back cover, need another fullback in. Defensive wise, I think we're quite. I think we're very good with the three defenders we've got. Roden, Biol and Stroud. If we continue to play with the three, I think we've got they're solid, but I think possibly Stroud will be sold to get some money, to get some profit. I think Stroud might be sold. I don't know for sure, but that's so I'm just thinking that might be the case. So yeah, we do need to improve, and I think we will. There's nothing in these past few windows since 49ers have come in where I've doubted them. They've been brilliant since they've come in. If you think about it as well, I mentioned this a few pods ago. Last season, when we were, in the championship, it come to the winter window, and there was a lot of our fans saying, if we don't get anybody in, we won't come up, we won't go up, we won't have enough. We didn't buy anyone, and we went up. This winter window, same. If we don't buy anyone, we'll struggle. We'll go down. We didn't buy anyone. I know we got Buonanotte in, but he hasn't played a lot, has he? I've got a comment here from Phil McCracken, 9464. Hi, Phil McCracken. What is it filled in with? I'm gonna say uh plaster. You are too pro Slovenia. It's time to leave the Eurovision. Unacceptable. I know. I love Slovenia so much. That's because Jakabio is performing on stage. He's gonna sing Kumbaya with the pair of maracas. Um nice to have you on, Phil McCracken. I hope it's not full too much and it doesn't block you. Doesn't block you. Right, let's get this in. Let's get this one up because I talked about it on the first pod that I attempted tonight. That went tits up. It's probably still on, but can't do much about it now. I'll try and get it taken off, and this is going to be the new pod. I'm going to do a season review. Hopefully, Kevin will be available to come on, and we can revisit some of our predictions at the start of the season. We can look back on some of our favourite moments of this Premier League season. We can pick our, players of the year. I've already told you mine, but we'll go through that. Give our reasons, our favourite goals. I don't know why I put that on there. Favourite games, yeah. I'll do that at some point next couple of weeks. I'll see if Danny might contact Danny, see if he wants to come on for the review, because he at the start of the season he was on and he gave us some of his predictions, so I'll see if he wants to come on. If not, don't worry about it. Yeah, that'll be coming on in the next couple of weeks. Going on to next season, I don't know what format this is going to come in, because the lives are very sort of centered around, people coming on and commenting, and Fergal's always on. God bless you, mate. Einar as well comes on. He come on the last one. I think he's gone to bed now. And there's a few of us that pop on from time to time, but it's very centered around people coming on and giving their feedback and talking. And it's not, there's not a lot that comes on. So I might revert this to a recorded show, where people can still comment on the videos if they want to talk, and I'll respond to them and get some of their comments up on the shows and that. But I need to sit down with Kev, come up with a plan of action for next season, because this is a joint pod, by the way. Me and Kev do this together, but he's been very, very busy, so I found myself doing it by myself. Don't know if I asked in the previous pods, but are you coming over for the Scum game in the home of? I don't think I am, mate. I'm not. I'll be honest with you. I want to, but I think the ticket. I think it's all sold out now, isn't it? Don't know. If it's not sold out, I might inquire about getting over and coming because I'd love to go over and watch that game. Watch that game. It'd be nice, yeah. Um, but we'll see. We'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. Um, yeah, I think this season, yeah, maybe I can buy it on the black market. Maybe I can sell my leg. Maybe I can see if Bill McCracken wants to empty his crack and I can give the contents of whatever's in there to swap for a ticket because I'm sure there's some wonderful treasures in that crack, Phil. Um, yeah, yeah. So I think this pre-season is going to be massive for us. I think we might see a bit of a churn. I think we might see a few players coming in, a few players leaving. The stadium's being, it started. It's on its way. We're moving in the right direction, guys. Everyone should be happy. Leeds fans should be happy, but still find something to moan about, don't we? Don't we? But the only way is up from here. We stayed up comfortably. It's all looking good. It's all looking rosy. Um, I'm gonna go now for real. I'm not gonna come back on again. I apologize for the first pod. It didn't sound great. So I've had to come on and talk some more. I'm gonna try and get the other one deleted off there. So anyway, this has been James for the second time tonight. I have brought you the Sunday Club. What I did is I closed the Sunday Club down, and then I thought we need some people are at the bar getting some last drinks, and so I had to reopen it again, didn't I? Cheers, Fergal. Thanks for coming on, mate. Thanks for coming back on and having a chat with me. I appreciate that, mate. I really do. Um, yeah. If you're watching, don't forget to do them things at the bottom, like, subscribe, share, and hype. I need you to do it because I just fucking want you to. I don't see why you won't do it for me. If you're not watching this live, get some comments in. Tell me how you felt the game's gone, how you felt the season's gone. What do we need? What plays do we need? Where do you think we go from here? Do we push on? Do we do a Sunderland and push for Europe next season? I don't know. I don't know. Um, but yeah, I'm gonna sign off now. Again, thanks for joining me. Take care.